I'm Andrea Giles, and you're listening to the Heal from Infidelity podcast, episode number 72, Gratitude, Pain, and a Baby. Hello, and welcome to the Heal from Infidelity podcast, where courageous women learn not only to heal from their spouse's betrayal, but to become the boldest, truest, most decisive, and confident versions of themselves ever. If you know there's more for you than the life you're currently living, but don't quite know how to get there, you are in the right place. Stick around to learn how to create a life that will knock your own socks off. Is it possible? It is, and I'm here to show you how. I'm your host, Andrea Giles. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Hey, everybody. As promised, I am back this week to talk a little bit more in detail about my last couple of weeks in welcoming a new baby into the world. And I wanted to just share some thoughts with you today that I hope help you. Before I do that, I want to just say to all of you, a huge, huge thank you. This past week, my podcast that's been alive for 16 months hit 100,000 downloads. They are from all over the world, all different people, many, many countries represented. And I thank you so much for listening, for sharing with people, for reviewing, for rating, for helping me get this podcast out there. I will also just share a little fun thing that I found out recently. There's a place where you can look up through a Google feature how your podcast is doing compared to other podcasts. And there are almost 3 million podcasts in the world, and mine ranks in the top 1.5% of all the podcasts that are out there. And that just blew my mind. So fun to see. So fun to know that it's being useful, that it's helping people. And that's what this is all for. It's to help people, right? So I'm happy to know that it's reaching people. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for trusting me to help you along your journey. Okay, with that, I want to dive into what I want to talk about today. So this is going to be probably a little bit shorter than usual. My parents just flew in today. They are here holding my little baby girl while I'm back in my office just recording this. And I really just wanted to share some of my thoughts with you. I'm going to start with the moment that my baby was born. She was born 2 weeks early. I've never had a child come early. That day, I was in the doctor's office for a routine visit, and my water broke while I was at the doctor's office. And I had never had that happen on its own. And she said, "Oh, you're having a baby today." And just like that, I had to go get my stuff and head to the hospital and had a baby. She was born at 10:28 p.m. So I labored all day. But the second that she was born, I cried. I cried a lot. I cried tears of joy that this new little person was here, that she made it safely, that I have this new little girl. And part of that cry is what I've been thinking about all of you with. Part of that cry was a cry of wonder and almost disbelief at what my life looks like and of how far I have come. And that's kind of what I want to talk to you about today. 7 years ago, actually 8 years ago, in fact, 8 years ago this week, now that I think about it, I got divorced December 12th, 2013. That's when it was final. I thought that my life was over, my friends, as many of you probably feel. I felt like I was losing everything. My children were in so much pain. I was in so much pain. I had many times where I was curled up in the fetal position, crying with such pain that I didn't know how I'd ever feel okay again. I remember feeling like I basically, like, the best years were over and that I was just going to have to get through and take care of my kids. And it was hard for me to see past. what I was currently feeling. It was hard for me to see past the pain that my children were enduring. And I did have hope. I did have some hope that things would get better. I just had no idea what it would look like. I didn't have any kind of visual in my head of what it would look like. Something you've heard me say in this podcast is that I also knew that in some form I was going to help other people get through their journey of infidelity. I knew that when I was going through it. I had people coming to me for help even when I was not great. I had people coming to me. And I knew that that was something that I was being prepared for, but I had no idea where it would take me. No clue. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later on. But 13 years ago, not 13 years ago, 2013, excuse me, I really just felt just empty. I felt so betrayed, so tricked, like I had been tricked. I even felt like I was tricked by God, like that I had, done everything that I thought that was correct to do and good to do. And kind of like this is what I get, and was just hurting tremendously. And if you've been listening to the podcast for a while, you know that the very next year, just 7 months later, my first husband died. And we had been married for 16 years. He was the father to my children, and I was in terrible pain all over again, and so were my kids. It was very, very painful. And I had no idea how we were all going to be okay or what that would look like. So in the last couple of weeks, my daughter is now 2 weeks old today. In the last couple of weeks, I've had many, many moments where I've sat in my chair, nursing her, holding her while she's asleep on my chest, with tears just streaming down my face. And many of those tears have been because I just can't believe where my life is now. I have felt immense, deep gratitude for all of it, for every single bit of it. Because, my friends, if I didn't experience every single bit of it, I would not have this little girl. I would not be sitting here talking to you today. I would not have my business. I would not have my husband. I would not have my extra 5 bonus kids that I love dearly. I would not live in Montana. Just so many things that I did not know were right around the corner, waiting for me. Instead, I felt often like it was just over and done. Like the rest of my life was just going to be just painful, right? So I want to share with you a few different points that I want you to think about. My invitation to you, my friends, is as you listen to this, especially now in the holiday season, which can be particularly difficult. I know you think about what you thought it would be, and it looks a little different, doesn't it? I want you to open up. I want you to just practice opening up to the points that I'm going to make. I want you to just practice, okay? And think about how the points that I make could possibly be true for you. Okay, point number 1, expect the unexpected. Okay, so what does that mean? It means I invite you to be open to being steered and led in directions you did not intend or plan on going to. I've told you before that my husband had a vasectomy almost 2 years ago. We were not going to have children. We were good with 11 kids. And then I got pregnant. And it was very unexpected, and it threw both of us quite a bit. And at first, I had all kinds of thoughts about, well, how am I going to keep doing my business? How am I going to, I like to travel. How will I be able to travel? How can I go to the trainings that I go to? And really struggled with starting completely over. And then I practiced being open to this direction I did not plan on. And in that moment, when I held my little girl for the first time, I tell you, oh my goodness, how could I not be happy with this unexpected surprise? She's perfect. I'm 44 years old and I'm starting over and have a perfect little baby girl that I get to parent. And I get to parent her from a place of a whole lot more wisdom and experience than I ever had before. Coaching for me was one of the unexpected directions that I have taken. I've mentioned before that I was planning on being a therapist. I was going to school to be a therapist. And then I was introduced to coaching. I didn't even know anything about it. And I started understanding and learning things that helped make sense of my own experience. And I didn't understand it all, but I leaned in to the unexpected and jumped in with both feet. And now I have my own wonderful business with wonderful clients. And I get to talk to you. Expect the unexpected. Okay, point number 2. Practice trusting that it is working for you, not against you. I know, my friends, that this is a hard one to swallow. How can you, having your heart broken and feeling so hurt and betrayed and untrusting and wondering how things are going to turn out, how can it be working for you, right? How can this be in my favor? I so understand that. But I'm living proof, my friends, that it has every single bit of it worked for me. It has enriched my life. It has made me a better person. It has made me dive deeper in my faith, in my belief, in my understanding of who I am, despite what anybody else says or does. It has helped me to look beyond myself, to try to understand at a deeper level. How is what you are going through working for you and not against you? How is it possible? How? I really did feel the things you are. I worried about the same things. I felt in limbo for years in my marriage. I didn't know how it was going to end. And then one day I did know, and I knew that it was time to end it. Now, that does not have to be your story, okay? What I do know, though, what I can tell you is that whatever you're experiencing right now, I promise you it is working for you. It's part of your instruction. It's part of your training to step into a more true and bold version of who you are. How is this possible? Because this work that you're going through is not for wimps. It requires growth. It requires learning to trust, most of all, learning to trust yourself. And that is the hardest and most important work you will ever do in this life. It's so vital. Okay, point number 3. Practice gratitude. I know that that's easier said than done. Sometimes you have to strain to find it, right? Sometimes it's hard to see. But I promise you, the more that you can practice gratitude, the more it will ease your burdens. The more that you can practice gratitude and see what you do have, see what is still intact, see how the unexpected twists and turns are serving you. See how you still have many things. You still have yourself. You still have people that love you and care about you. How can gratitude help you today? I'm going to give you a little bit of a challenge, okay? You might be struggling right now through the holidays. Like I said, holidays can be tricky. I want you to find an opportunity to lift somebody else, to see somebody else's life, to see what their struggles are. And you know what happens every time? It ends up lifting you. Because we are meant to lift each other. We're meant to be in each other's lives. And it can help give us a different perspective when we serve others. How can you lift somebody else and therefore lift yourself? Okay, to wrap it up, I just want to just send so much love this holiday season. I want you to know that I think about all of you often, wherever you are, even if we've never talked, never met. I think about you. I pray for you. I think about where you're at and what you're feeling and your fears, your deepest stuff, like the deepest stuff that you don't feel safe telling anybody. I think about you and what those things are. And I just want to tell you from the sincerest part of my heart that you have so much to look forward to. You have good things to look forward to. This stage that you're in is temporary. It will not last forever. The pain that you're feeling is temporary. It will not last forever. This too shall pass. You will feel joy again. You will feel love and all the things that have felt so far away to you for a while. You will feel all of those things again. The more you open up to these points, expecting the unexpected, practice trusting that it's working for you and not against you, and practicing gratitude, the more that you can lean into those things, the quicker you're going to transition through this stage and onto the next beautiful part of your life. I really hope you know that you are loved, that you're seen, that you're cared for, that you are not alone, that the things that you're carrying around that you are sure nobody else understands, I promise you, you are not alone. That the things that you feel are normal, as painful as they may be, and that you have much, much to look forward to. It might not come in the form of an amazing business or in the form of a new baby. It may come, it'll come in the form of whatever is the best thing for you. That's something I know. Whatever is the best, whatever promotes your growth the most, and that brings you joy because you are known, you are cared for, and there are blessings and gifts being stored up to give you. And I just look forward to knowing what those things are for each of you. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you again so much for being here. And I look forward to talking to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to the Heal from Infidelity podcast. If you would like to be kept in the know about upcoming free classes, new podcast episodes, and other ways of working with me, go subscribe to my weekly email. You can subscribe at AndreaGiles.com/lies-about-infidelity/. Again, it's AndreaGiles.com/lies-about-infidelity/. I will see you next time.